Yeah.
What do you do? Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook.
Okay.
Good?
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Oh my goodness. We've had a wonderful little introduction. All right. This is Heather Jevan. I do also go by Heather Rose. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube as well. This is my first time doing an actual live on Heather Jevan's page. I will be doing some more of my interviews, so please stay tuned. I'm just going with the flow. I don't have a particular name yet, but keep supporting me, and I'm going to keep dishing out content. All right? All right, so we have a trio today. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. I'm hot. I'm past hot. So I'm so thankful to hook up with Krista.
Yes.
Suki and Knowledge.
That's right.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes.
Great to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you as well. This is just something that I've always wanted to do, and it's been a part of my ultimate dream. I want to become a life coach, but at the same time, I listen to so much motivational speeches that they also tell you to go and do it.
That's right.
You know, you can't just sit around and ponder and I got a plan, but never do it.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
I'm doing what I want to and what I like to do. And I know I listen to Les Brown. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Absolutely right.
He's just like, you gotta be hungry,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
do.
So you just gotta get out there. And he also started doing like broadcasting on the radio.
Yes.
And which we know a lot of brown people aren't on the radio.
Right.
And or they weren't on the radio as tough as they are now today. So that's where I started basically. All right. So I don't know where to start, but I hooked up with Krista and she was just like, oh, I need to get on to interview and we need to talk about these things. And I believe yes. And I believe that was the best thing.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So today we're just basically talking and we're gonna do a little conversation about financial literacy and credit repair.
Yes.
So I don't know who wants to go first. But we just need an introduction of who you are.
Go ahead and I'll take it.
All right.
My name is Krista Taylor. For everybody that don't know me, I've been with Financial Education Services now for, I just hit 4 months.
Oh, wow.
And so in 4 months' time, I am at the senior field trainer level, which is the third up promotion from when you start.
Okay.
And so I'm really excited about
in 4 months? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, yes. It has definitely been a ride. It's been a journey. And, you know, I won't say that I knew everything before I started. I mean, I didn't know a whole lot about the importance of credit and financial literacy before I started. Yeah. And so now it's just taking a grab onto my life, and I just want to help as many people as I possibly can because it is important, and it's very important for people of color. Yeah. Because there's such a gap. Yes. In there's such a gap in the wealth, and a lot of us have not had that formal training at home. Right. We've always been taught work hard. Yeah. Hold a job. Keep that money, that line of money coming in, and you'll learn about the other forms of money that can come in, or the importance of credit. So this is near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad to be able to discuss that with you, Ms. Heather. So.
Yes. Thank you so much, Miss Suki.
Hey.
Yes. Give me a little introduction of who you are.
I'm Suki Reed. I just hit sales director in the business
last
night.
They
5 months in.
Real quick.
5 months, y'all. Where they do that at? 4 promotions in 5 months.
Wow.
Yes, this business is real. It's the truth. Trickle down effect. So now it's who we're going to be hearing from in a minute. He brought me into the business. He introduced it to me. it was a no-brainer right away. Like she said, we taught one stream of income.
Yeah.
We're not taught about handling credit cards,
Right.
debt.
Right.
We got payday loans going on, all that. So when he came to me, it was perfect timing. I hit 40 last year, and it was a perfect time.
Yeah.
So I joined right away, and then my girl, I already knew Krista, and I said, Krista, we got something. This is something for real right here. I mean, she didn't need any convincing at all.
Yeah.
Latched on right away,
Yes.
and it's just been a journey ever since. I mean, we are shooting to the sky.
Wow.
We're trying to help as many people as we can.
Yeah.
Project No One Left Behind.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're not leaving nobody behind.
Yeah.
You do
That's
not
right.
have to deal with bad credit.
No.
Yes.
You
No.
know.
That's
And then you can increase your family, your wealth, you pass it on to generation to generation, and it's multiple folds to this. So I'm just excited. I'm so excited
Yes.
for this opportunity.
All right. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Yes. Last but not least,
Definitely not.
bringing them together.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, how can I lose?
No.
This is a big part. This is a big
Yes.
part of this business. So my name is Knowledge Beckham. I'm the one who actually introduced the business to Sakia, as she mentioned, and she introduced it to Krista. But the common thread for probably 95% of people that are in our business is we all had less than perfect credit.
Yeah,
Right.
most
Right? We
definitely.
all had a background. We all had a story of how we got here and how
Yeah.
we needed
Right.
these services.
Mm-hmm.
And like them, I heard it and I immediately knew it was for me.
Yeah.
Right? One of
Yeah.
the things I know probably 70% of people are out there with less than perfect credit.
Oh, most
Right.
definitely.
We understand that there's 43 million people out there with less than a 599 credit score.
Mhm.
Right.
That's
So
a lot.
that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a lot of people don't take action because they lack education.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They just don't know they can do anything.
Exactly.
They just have to wait it out.
Yeah.
And then given that it's a huge market, there's so many folks in there that do credit repair.
Okay.
Right. So you don't know who to trust.
Okay.
Right. Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
your personal information at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Right.
Yes.
And
Right.
so,
And we don't trust.
And
too
we know
many
we
people.
Exactly.
especially don't trust us.
Yeah.
Especially don't trust
Yeah.
us. And so
That's right.
when I knew that it was time for me to take action, I started to look for a company. Or I wanted to look for a company that had a track record,
Okay.
right? Which this company does. They've been
Yeah.
doing this for 15 years,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Wanted to look for a company that had a good reputation.
Yeah.
This company has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And then I wanted to hear real people with real
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Right.
And I found real people with real stories. And so when I hit 3 out of 3, I'm like, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. And so my personal stories, when I joined the business, I had a 559
Ooh.
credit score. I
Okay.
had a 559 credit score. So, but the thing about it is it got that way through real estate, right?
Okay.
And, but the thing about it, even though some of those real estate transactions have fallen off my credit,
Uh-huh.
again, when you go back to financial literacy, there's a restoration part.
Right.
Right, there's a part of rebuilding that credit,
Oh,
which
yes.
I was unaware of, right? So
Okay.
although some of those negative things have fallen off, I hadn't restored it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And so
Yes.
when I joined this business, they were able to remove 2 negative items from my credit report within the first 32 days.
Oh wow.
So I went from a 559 to a 689 in 32
Oh,
days.
yeah.
We we have a couple of trade lines, positive trade lines that we recommend. I was able to add a trade line. I went from a 689 to a 768 in like 7 weeks.
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off.
It's a good question. You want to tackle what a
Yeah,
trade line is?
absolutely. Well, one of our more predominant trade lines that we have is the Credit My Rent
Okay. Okay.
service. And so what that does, as you know, as a homeowner,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can get, marks or points on your credit report for
Okay.
paying a mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot get that for paying a rent.
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Right.
you don't get any
Right.
credit. You pay all this rent.
Mm-hmm.
No
really
credit.
The landlord gets
Mhm.
it because
Okay.
that's where the mortgage is at.
Okay.
So Credit My Rent, what that is designed to do is it can go back as far as 2 years.
Okay.
And if you are within good standing,
Mhm.
it can put that and apply that on your report.
Okay.
So you'll see
Okay.
a boost
Okay.
just from that particular service alone.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
well worth it to anybody that's out there renting.
Oh, my
because a lot of
goodness.
people
Right.
don't know
Which
that.
is a lot
So-
of
Oh
people.
my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
knew before I
was
started the job.
I know.
thought, wow,
I've been
that's
renting for a
amazing.
long time.
Right.
And then
Hello,
I'm just
yes.
now getting to the home ownership to
Mhm.
where,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's one of them. I mean,
you.
want to talk about the
secure credit card. Many people know about those. You put a deposit up front.
Yeah,
and then you build your credit by making your payments on time.
Yes.
They increase your credit limit, as long as you keep with your payments on time. So you get a boost there. And eventually, most of them end up transferring over to an unsecured line once you keep up with your payments and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay.
And the unfortunate part is a lot of people don't even know their credit score.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the score, and I think what people get caught up on sometimes, the score is not just the score; it's what that score means.
Okay,
right. It's what that 640 means.
Yeah.
It means that you're paying 10% interest on your car.
Yeah.
It means you're paying, even if you have a mortgage, right? 'Cause that will qualify for a mortgage, but you're paying higher interest on that mortgage.
Right.
What a lot of people don't do is write the numbers out. Just do a little bit of math.
Okay.
Right, and say, hey, what if I was at a 3% versus a 10% on my car?
Right.
Over the course of a 5-year loan, how much additional is that going to cost me?
Right.
And you might as well in the garbage can. So basically, you're taking your money, dumping it in the garbage for having less than perfect credit. Do it on a 30-year loan.
Yes.
And look at how much tens of thousands of dollars you're doing. Right, and so when some people are like, how much does it cost? It's like whatever it costs. If the math works, if it's less than what you actually are going to spend, it's great, and it's a fraction of what it's going to save you over the course of your life. So, we understand that, through a lifetime, less than perfect credit, you can actually spend anywhere between $200,000 to $1 million in just interest.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if you think about it, from the time you start making purchases, maybe 21, 22, if you have a nice life, right, to about 70 or so, less than perfect credit throughout that life, there's a lot of money you throw away.
So that's like $4 million right here that you can just throw away over a lifetime.
We don't have to throw away.
And we don't
So why you're throwing away makes no sense.
Because
it doesn't make sense.
They have no choice. So.
Right. That's true.
Wow.
That's why we're here.
Yes. I'm
choice.
glad. Now, if you guys don't know and understand, I just met Knowledge like 20 minutes ago, and just now talking about these things, I don't know all of these things. And I just opened up a credit card, and I just opened up another one. But I'm 35, and 34. I just opened up a credit card. I was being mindful, but at the same time, I was scared.
Right.
So
I know there's more people out there like me that they're scared.
So let me ask you a question. So you just opened up a credit card. Have you heard of credit utilization? Have you heard that term?
No.
It's fine if you haven't heard of it.
No.
One of them, you guys want to tell her what that is so we can keep her from damaging her credit score?
You don't want to use over 30% of your credit card limit. After that, it starts affecting it negatively.
Yes, and I know for a fact that even when I did like a 30, it still didn't do as well for my credit. I was kind of like, why I used under 30%? Why is it like that? So it was like maybe 20% would be a lot better for me. Comfortable for me. In order to see that jump or hike or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of did my own little thing of kind of common sense. I should say.
That's good.
Your common sense.
Not most.
Your common sense.
Most like $1,000. Let's go.
So I was being mindful. I like that word. I was being mindful of what I was doing. So now I'm able to. I'm disciplined. I'm disciplined.
Right, and there's two levers, right? So 30%, which Shakia talked about, you don't want to go over. You'll see a significant drop. But if you're able to stay under 10%, that is considered excellent. So that is when you're actually going to see a huge boost.
Right there.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing down here in Champaign today, right? So we put this event together monthly, and it's really to educate. Right? Unless you've actually set time aside to actually learn these things, which is not taught to us in school.
No.
Right?
No.
Unfortunately, many of our parents, I have educated parents, right? And I think we got some money talks. The biggest part is just don't get a credit card. And that's not really the best. That's not really the best advice.
Right.
Get credit.
Yeah.
and be
Right.
responsible with
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Right, but it's not get credit.
Yeah,
Does
yes,
that mean
right.
that everything's gonna have to be paid for by cash?
Yes,
Right, and
we don't have.
you don't have cash,
You know.
and even if you do, you really don't want to.
Yeah.
Right, you actually
Yeah.
want to hold your cash. You
Yeah.
actually want to leverage credit.
Mhm.
And so a lot of what we do is we educate people, we
Mhm.
share information. If our services are in need,
Yeah.
then you know that you're partnering with the reputable company that's going to get the job done. So
Yes.
that's our ultimate goal, is just to educate, understanding that most times we're educating people in our community,
Yep.
right? And then they can educate people and their families.
Right.
And if we do our job,
Mhm.
then we're educating a ton of communities across America that lack
Right.
education.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And
That's what it's about.
that brings wealth.
Correct.
It does.
Man.
That
Correct.
brings wealth.
Correct.
And that's what we want.
That's
and
what we
that's
want.
what we need.
That's
Mhm.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because I heard someone say that the brown people in America, they spend so much money
Mhm.
in different places,
Mhm.
which, it's kind of like very heartbreaking,
Yeah.
you know, that we spend so much money on Jordans or
Yeah.
even McDonald's,
Yeah.
you know?
We are some of the top consumers.
Right.
We really, really
Right.
are. But there's nothing
The
to show
brokest
for
top
it.
Yeah.
And that's what's
Yeah.
so, yeah. That's
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You want something to show.
Mhm.
You're working so hard for this money.
Yeah.
And you're just throwing it all away.
Right.
And then what picture does that paint? Because I have a young child.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Mhm.
I think we all have children here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we don't want to continue that type of behavior
Yeah.
Right.
for our children to view and see and think it's okay. Because it's not okay.
No.
We're setting them up for failure.
Yeah,
Right? So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just.
And then how many of us are not prepared when we leave? You know,
Right.
we leave our
That
family
too.
and we got the GoFundMe's all on Facebook.
Right.
So what have you spent your money on the whole time you were alive?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
That's
which it doesn't cost that much. 'Cause I
It
think
does
I got
not.
like Gerber insurance for my
Uh-huh.
kids
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost that much
Mm-hmm.
a month
Right.
to actually get that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is, what we do too. We not only use the services, right, to
Mhm.
empower ourselves, but the fact that we were able to all start a franchise,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
right? So it doesn't
Yes.
matter wherever I'm at across this country.
Yeah.
If I meet somebody with less than perfect credit, which I
Mhm.
know is going to be 7 out of 10 people,
Right.
are going to have less than perfect credit, I actually have a solution that can help them,
Right.
right? And that's
Yeah.
being a business owner. A lot of times I'm not talking about like the Facebook, fake CEO. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
CEO of this, CEO of that.
Yes. Oh,
You're
I
talking
see a
about
lot of
legit-
those.
There are a lot of them.
Yes.
I'm talking legitimately owning a business,
Yep.
right? And understanding the benefits of owning a business,
Right.
right? And the
Right.
fact that you're able to buy this franchise for such a low cost and buy
Okay.
into it, it's an unbelievable opportunity,
Yeah.
Right.
right? That we've all got return on our investment.
Yes.
Right.
Little.
And
Yeah,
if you use that
yeah.
term, I've started a number of businesses through the years,
Uh-huh.
and it can take a while if you ever
Right.
get return on your
Right.
investment.
Right.
Right.
Right. The fact that all three of us have gotten a return on our investments,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times in the first 30 days,
Uh-huh.
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
I think my return at this point is 2,500% return on
wow.
my initial investment from just helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
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 So, unfortunately, when things sound that good,
Mhm.
it can scare people away.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
people
Yes.
think that there's
Mhm.
something to it. But if you just look at the pillars of our business, we have a huge market.
Okay.
A lot of people have less than perfect credit.
Oh yes.
That's where you want to have a business in.
Yeah.
Right.
We're partnered with the company that's been around for years. They have a great track record.
Okay.
Very effective, 100% guarantee
Mm-hmm.
on their services.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? When you look at what the real risk is, it's just sometimes people are afraid to kind of step into the light and do things to take their lives to the next level. So
Right.
that's a big piece of this business. It's not like
Yeah.
we can't
Right.
find people who need help.
Right.
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 It's just
Just going against the norm
Right.
of
Exactly.
your
It's going against the
trading
norm.
time for money,
Mhm.
which
Comfort
we've been
zone.
brainwashed into doing all this time.
Right.
That is very true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I love my mentor. He said, so Joe Gaithan, shout out, he's vice
Joe,
president. of
Money-
Chicago.
Money Joe.
Right.
Money Joe. He always says, 2 jobs are for 2 people.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, and
Right.
it is a wow. It is a wow. 2
Yeah.
jobs, like, because People think, I'm about to get this money. I'm picking up a second job.
Yeah.
That's the mentality.
Yeah.
I'm about to get this money, so I'm going to get a second job.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's something wrong with that.
It is.
That
Yes.
mentality.
It is.
I get it. You got to do what you got to do to make ends meet.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Yeah.
you got to open your mind and think about that may not be it.
Yeah.
Right? So if I want to take
It's
vacation,
not.
do I need to get a third job?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
As you keep
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
in life, you got-
How far you gonna keep going, right?
That was working 3 jobs
Yeah.
and going to school full time.
Yeah.
3 jobs.
Mhm.
And we had a brief conversation about that.
Yep.
Since I've been with this company,
Uh-huh.
I have not only been able to scale back from I let go, resigned from a corporate position, part-time corporate position.
Mhm.
I am now scaling back my full-time position to
Mhm.
part-time, and eventually I will phase that out
Mhm.
Yes.
because I can now.
Yes.
Where I had the mind frame where I never would have believed that I would have found something that is this wonderful, that I can help a lot of people,
Yeah.
and I can do it from home,
Yes.
and I can live my best life.
Mhm.
That was mind blowing to me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this has been pretty much a saving grace for me,
Good.
and so
Great.
it's been a big blessing. And I'm
Yes.
just wanting to bless others with that same opportunity, but I want them to be open minded
Open
about
mind.
it
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's a really hard thing to grasp. Like
Mhm.
Knowledge said, it's it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's not.
They can't allow themselves to think that they deserve better.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We deserve better.
We
Mhm.
do.
We deserve better.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're
We're at church, Heather. We're at church.
Yes. I'm kind of lost. 'Cause, once you talk about money in the brown community,
Mhm.
the family, it's a problem.
Yes.
It's a problem.
Mhm.
A lot of people break up in their relationship because
Yes.
of money.
It's the
Yes.
biggest, it's the number
Yes.
one reason for divorce.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Finances
Money.
are the number
Say
one
that.
reason for divorce.
Yes.
Mhm.
Their credit
Yeah.
score might not be good, or they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to use it.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people, they do say, I need some money, or once you bring up the conversation, they're, kind of like aggressive. Like,
Right.
no, don't
Right.
talk about that. And
Right.
isn't it a tool?
It
Mhm.
is. It is.
Yeah.
Used properly. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's all purposeful too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's not by accident
Right.
that our minds are trained the way they were. It makes me think. I was at an event a few days ago. Shout out to my man Lil Real, comedian actor Lil Real. I was at an event called "It's a 312" thing, and it didn't really dawn on me until later. But I believe it was an AT&T corporate event, right?
Okay.
But it was all about Chicago performers, Vic Mensa, Lupe Fiasco, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But so we're backstage,
Yes.
right? And everybody knows Lil Real. They know Vic Mensa. They know all of these guys.
Yeah.
The one person I don't think people knew as well, a guy by the name of Steve Stout.
Okay.
Right? So he owns an ad agency called Translation. I think Jay-Z may have a minority percentage in that. But I think it was ultimately his event. So I think he partnered with AT&T
Okay.
to put this thing together. But again, he's sitting in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I've known Steve Stout because I'm a big hip-hop fan.
Right.
Right.
Right,
Exactly.
so I know he,
Yeah.
I know he worked at Sony. I know he
Mhm.
managed Nas, during his early years. I know he's very tight with Jay-Z, and he does a ton of things. And he just created a company called United Masters. And so I'm looking at Wikipedia, right? And United Masters is all about having artists maintain their masters.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right? Record deals, that's what they give up.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
This is about maintaining your masters. But when I looked, this dude raised $70 million for that project.
Oh wow.
That's the guy who's sitting in the room, but many people don't know
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Because the camera's not put on that guy.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
I don't know if I want a bunch of young kids looking at that guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd rather them look at that guy.
Yes.
Right? I'd
Yes.
rather
I
look at
know
the
what you're
rapper
talking
and
about.
aspire to be that.
Yeah.
Than the guy who knows how to go raise $70 million
Right.
from folks that don't look like him.
Right.
And leverage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just it's not on purpose that we're kind of in this condition, and so
That's
you
right.
get some of that pushback when you try to share this information, because it's so opposite of what folks have been taught and so on.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh yes. Man, I'm glad we in here.
Yeah, indeed.
I am. I know I didn't have the best of credit. I wanted to have the best credit, but didn't know what to do. You know, and I was young.
Right.
You know, but I didn't open up a credit card because of the myths. I should say, you know, the myths behind them. But I wasn't disciplined, and I'm kind of happy that I didn't open that credit card. You know, and run it up for myself. So I do want to also teach my kids a little bit more about discipline.
Absolutely.
So, like, do you guys deal with the youth at all?
Yes.
All right.
That's one of our favorite things.
Yeah, because usually we don't teach our kids about money.
That's
or
right.
Well, with our company, we have the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation.
Oh, wow.
So everyone that is that signs up for our services, $2 out of every monthly membership goes toward the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, and they go into the schools and they educate youth ages 8 to 18 on the matters of personal finance.
That's great.
Yeah, so they start young.
Yeah.
We getting it on the back end. You know, they coming in forefront, so they don't even have to go through the same thing and make the same mistakes. They grow up with that knowledge, and that can just trickle on down the generation. So that's one of our favorite babies. So when we went to convention last month, $350,000 from our company was given away in scholarships to high school seniors and college freshmen. And we actually saw some of them on the stage with their parents, with their siblings, holding the check, getting the money, going to school with these scholarships. Like, I mean, it's just amazing.
That's great.
That's
great.
It is.
And I like companies that actually do more things.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the
because it's not
the broad community.
Right, you got to educate. You can't just fix the problem because you're going to make the same mistakes over. You got to educate.
That's
so
right. It's a big
It
component.
should actually be part of the responsibility, right?
Yes.
If we were more disciplined, we shouldn't spend if they don't get back.
Right.
That's right.
Right?
Hello?
So it's, why don't we, I know some people are probably listening to this and hopefully learning a little bit about what we're talking about. Why don't we invite them out to the event, plug the event if they don't know about it.
Absolutely. So we do have our event today.
Okay.
It's going to be at the I Hotel. So if you're listening in Champaign, Illinois, the I Hotel on 1st Street at 3:30 p.m., we are going to go into the complete overview of our services that we're able to provide, as well as the business component. So we would love to see anybody and everybody that wants to come out tonight.
Free.
It is. It's a free event. Free educational event.
$3.99.
Yeah, so we want to see y'all out tonight. You know, pick up some people, bring a friend, bring 5, bring 7. It's fine.
Yes.
We got the space.
Yes.
Come on over.
Free.
And everyone attending, we actually have a voucher that we are going to give to you as well. A hotel voucher, travel voucher. Absolutely free just for coming out and learning and getting this information. So
Very nice.
Man, this company is sounding real nice. With promotions, 4 or 5 months.
Hey.
Woo!
And you know, the best thing about the promotions is I don't necessarily have to go hang out with my boss or grab drinks after work and leave, you know, in the in crowd.
Right.
All I have to do is go tell people and help people, and I'm promoted through the structure of the business.
Yeah.
Right. So you can promote yourself 2 times a week.
Yeah. No
Right.
shoes in needed.
Wow.
You just go out here and help people and have a heart to help people, and you promote yourself. And by promoting yourself, it's not just a title. You're earning more. You're doing the exact same thing, which is helping people, which is the core of what we do.
That's right. My promotions, Heather, I did 2 in this month. So it was 2 this month.
Yeah.
And so I am working on trying to get that number 3.
Yeah.
So
it's all on your page.
Yeah, it's all how many people I want to help. So I'm trying to help a lot of people.
Yes.
You know.
Okay.
And get that going.
So someone that, you know, probably is, we're going to get a couple of people that don't want to do much and they just want, I just want the money, you know, but they don't want to put in that work.
Right.
You know, you're going to get a couple of those people, you know, but like you said, it takes promotion, put it out there. And I mean, we all own a cell phone. You know,
I mean, it takes nothing to invite. You know, hey, let me show you what this is. That's it.
We on Facebook all day anyway.
Yeah.
Do you have a minute? I'm going to show you what this is.
Right.
Show you what this is about.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all it takes.
I believe we're all marketers.
We
It's
are.
just like we're trying to get more people to come on our page and like it.
That's right.
We're posting posting pictures of
absolutely
us and our, you know, cake and happy birthday to, you know, little mama. I don't know. You know, so you might as well.
You know how strong that statement is you just made? Like, that is what everybody does.
Yeah.
When you take your picture, you're trying to sell somebody on how much I'm living life, how good things are, how lit it is. You're trying to. And I used to tell people before, like people would tell me to have a background in sales.
I hear
they give me for free.
These two get cracking. These two get cracking. But they're great. But you know, it's I wanted to kind of go back to business as well, right? Because a lot of times people see us in this business. And I've heard people say, "Oh, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't know if that's my passion."
Yeah.
Like sometimes you need to shape your passion.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's great that you can have passion. Passion doesn't always equal dollars, and the dollars may not equal a living, right?
Yeah.
There's so many people out here starting businesses, but has to be more than passion.
Yeah.
What does the market look like?
Yes.
I know that you love baking this, but what's the market look like?
Yeah.
What's your competition look like?
Right.
How are you going to get to market? Like all of these things, you know, what kind of capital infusion you're going to get to your business, right? All of these things that if you're really trying to set up shop and then compete against other businesses, it becomes very challenging and difficult.
Yeah.
Not impossible.
Right.
But understand that, right? That's why I kind of go back to we're in a huge space with a number of potential customers. That is where you want to start your business in. And for many of us, this is not what we grew up saying that we were going to do.
Right.
You use this.
That's what I was going to say. It's the vehicle. It's the vehicle. It's going to enable you to do what you ultimately want to do. You don't have the means to do it after that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
During our presentation, we show you how this, how our comp plan is set for you to retire in 3 to 6 years.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So,
that is huge.
You know, job ain't doing that. Right?
Slowest rate possible.
No,
Slowest
no.
rate possible. 6 years.
That
Yes.
is absolutely the slowest rate.
Yeah.
Well before.
So imagine if you actually hustle and work it. I mean, you can shorten that time.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the job is trying to get you to stay there for about
40 years.
I was going to say 30.
40. It's 40, baby.
40 now.
40 years, baby.
And soon it's going to be probably 50.
Yeah.
You know?
And then think about that. Think about the quality of life. I mean, I have wonderful parents. They have worked so hard. They were factory workers most of their lives. So they worked so hard all those years to retire to not really be able to enjoy it.
Exactly.
They had to actually go back into the work world,
Yeah.
you know, just to make a living. And, you know, it's just, it's a sad thing. It's a sad component when you give so many years to an employer.
Right.
And then you may not even have the health to be able to celebrate the fact that you're retired.
Right.
Or you may not even have the money to be able to truly retire.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, you know, you got to put yourself in a better position. For that.
Wow. Yeah. This is great. This is great. I think I had some questions. You know, I don't even know. I think we answered.
I think we did.
Oh.
We've been around the block.
Well, okay. I do have a question. Like, is your credit score good now? You know how you promote something, like you have a lot of people like this tummy tea will work and stuff like that, but do you really have that flat stomach behind that picture, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, do you guys all
we've all had results. I mean, and it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Right, the first round, I got 5 of my negative items deleted. My score went up 54 points.
Wow.
In 35 days.
Wow.
So, like, it's a real true product, and they continue to go back on your behalf. So, you do the things, you get the negative items off, you continue to do that, you add the positive trade lines.
That's right.
It's nowhere but up.
Wow.
And how do we do that? How do we actually remove those things from the credit
Disputes.
report?
Yeah, they do rounds of disputes. So, all 3 bureaus at the same time, all negative items. So, they're not slow poking and doing one bureau at a time.
Yeah.
It's all 3. All of them at the same time. So it's a method, it's a strategy, it works.
Right.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what some people might not understand.
Right.
And then it's consistent too, right?
Yes, it's consistent. It's a team of people behind it, so it's not just one person. Like, I mean, it can be done on your own.
Right.
But the pace is gonna be a lot slower.
Yeah.
You write your own little letters out and you mail them in. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same machine behind it. So.
And a lot of people don't have time.
No.
Because
that's the big thing too.
No.
Right, we don't do it. The company does it.
Yes.
company does it all.
And it's better to, you know, they're the experts.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not going to claim that I'm an expert at drafting dispute letters.
Right.
Yeah.
So I may not have the correct verbiage, and it may not get as far as what a company that is trained to have that type of verbiage
Okay.
could get for me.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense to have a staff do it for you.
Right.
You know, let's get this process expedited. And as we're talking about it, I've had 147 jump.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Report that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
a huge jump.
Yeah.
And so I'm a believer. You know, what's that old commercial where he was like, "I'm not the
I'm
the
not
president."
right. Hair
That's
club
me.
for me.
There you go. There you go. Haircut for me.
I'm
I'm
all
a
in
believer in
president.
this. I'm not only a
We
senior
all
field
clients.
trainer,
We're all clients.
I'm a client as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's
Yeah.
a huge believer of this. This is huge for me. So,
Wow.
We tested the product.
Utilizing resources.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
And as I mentioned, I'm up 206 points, and we talk about credit
Yes.
restoration because that's usually what brings people through the door. But we have a full protection plan,
Yes.
so we offer 12 products all around the areas of financial and really getting your financial affairs in order. Right. Before I joined this company, I've amassed some things over my years. Right. But unfortunately, if something were to happen to me immediately, my mom, brother, I don't know, they wouldn't know who I bank with.
Yes.
What
Right.
are my account numbers?
Yeah.
Right. So we're worried about life insurance. I might have X amount of dollars of cash in the bank
Yeah.
that they can't get to because I don't have them on my accounts. They don't know where I'm actually banking at.
Right.
I do banking online and things that don't even have branches. And so we have a product called a financial lockbox, right? Which is kind of a digital safe where you have all of your important documents and you designate if something were to happen, want to make sure that they get this information.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right? We help
Right.
people. We talked about just full picture. We help people with will and trust, right? Power of attorney, right? So many of us don't have
Oh
that.
no.
And sometimes we think it's not just this building or this block of money. It's basic stuff. Basic
Yes,
stuff that
it
has
is.
value to people.
Right.
And you want to be able to give direction and guidance as to if something would happen, this goes there.
Right.
Right. When you look at people, and it's not even a money thing, right? It's a mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You even see with like
Absolutely.
Aretha and Prince,
Hello.
they didn't have it in place. Right? So you have these very, 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 what you would assume are rich people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But no guidance on what should happen if something were to happen.
That's right.
Right, and that creates a situation. I think the number is $58 billion goes each year unclaimed.
Yeah.
And like
That's
life insurance
huge.
policies, bank accounts,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. I had an uncle. I remember he passed and he had a home, but there was no will, and so I think that the family kind of lost the home. Right, and it's just so I'm sure might have owned it out, might have almost owned it outright,
Right.
who knows, but nobody
Yeah.
has that information.
Right.
Right.
And that could have been something that got a young kid in our family started.
Right.
That could have
Yeah.
been college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so but it
Yeah.
goes back to whoever and it's going, right? And so
Yeah.
there's always a downside to not being educated.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Right? So like
sure.
lack of education, it ain't just not having the education, it's about the impact of not having that education.
Right.
Right. So,
Right.
Very true.
So, I have a question. I mean, with the free event that you have, that mentality, I'm going to touch on it. Someone's going to be like, oh man, they trying to sell me some stuff again, or how much is this going to cost? And, that type of stuff. Can I afford this? How?
Let me ask you this. How much do you think you're worth? And that's the question I'll ask somebody. What do you think you're worth? What do you think it is worth to protect your finances?
Yeah.
This is geared to protect your finances, to increase your finances, and also to put you in a better position to where it's generational.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just about you. It's
your
about
family.
you and your family and their families and so on and so forth. You start the seed here. Sow it here so that it will grow beyond measure, to your families.
Yeah.
So if it is a question of, well, I think that may be too much, well, then maybe you need to check and see how you value yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this is huge.
Right.
This is, not a pair of Jordans.
No.
That you can wear a couple times and they get all dirty and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
This is your lifeline.
Right.
Your financial lifeline.
Right.
So if you don't put value and look at yourself and say, you know what, I'm worth it,
Right.
and this is worth it to me, maybe we're not for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it goes back to, I mean, she just made a great point. Like, that goes back to, again, can you afford it? Can you afford having bad credit?
Right.
Right? That's part of why you're going out to get the second job, is because you have bad credit, which means that you're overpaying for that vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. You had to go put down money on the car. You had to take the tax return and give it all to them. Right? Because that was the only way you could get the car.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of having perfect credit, walking in, signing your name, taking your tax return, put it in the bank.
Right.
You see how, like, how that kind of works. And so it's, can you afford to have bad credit?
Right.
That's at the end of the day.
Right.
That's, but again, people don't look at it in that way. It's like, can I afford what you guys are charging me? We're not looking at what is it going to actually do long term for you in terms of saving you money. So people miss the basics, unfortunately. And then, like Krista said, another thing too with credit, unlike the tummy tea, right? I mean, there's gonna be, we ain't knocking tummy tea. I know. I follow some of y'all. So I know not to
Look so healthy, baby.
Whether you using the tummy tea or not, I follow it. So shout out to the tummy tea. But the good thing about credit is, when you have less than perfect credit, we don't have to. We're not the ones letting you know that. Right? Exactly. Somebody told you can't get that car. So you were looking at this car and they redirected you to that side. Right? Somebody knows they just tried to rent an apartment and they're like, nah, not really. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe have your grandmother move in with you. So when you have less than perfect credit, you know it. And so you already know that there's a need. It's a matter of, one, has there been a compelling event? Has something happened where you're like, now I need to take care of this?
Right.
Or are you just about bettering yourself and putting yourself in a better position and you're like, I need to do it? That's where I was. Right. It's like, yo, you need to take care of this. Yeah. And that's what did it for me.
Right.
I
have another question. You know how we are all too well prone to want something to be done like immediately. So with the credit repair, how long does that take? You get what I'm saying? So like, some people want it to be taken care of in a week. Some people want it to be taken care of in a month. But I know it took me time to get to my 700s. But I'm still playing that game. It's, some people don't have time. Like, what?
Well, customers, they typically get results within 45 to 60 days. The first set of results. But like, I mean, you do have to have some patience. You didn't you didn't bring your credit up you did that over how many years, right? You can't expect it to be reversed in a week. So you got to be patient. And trust the system, but it's gonna work.
And that's why, if you're listening today and you have less than perfect credit, take action today. Because when you need credit is when you need credit. That's when you need it, and then it can't happen immediately. Like, when I'm trying to get this place, I got to move out my old place and get this new place next week. Like, ain't nobody do nothing for you legal. Legally can't anybody. So the fact of the matter is, have it in order. So whenever you need to make moves, you're in position to make moves.
Like, we in March now, summertime is coming. Y'all know some of y'all got plans. You get started now, you be straight by the summertime. You know what I mean? But you got to start now.
Very true.
Oh my. I'm still like lost for words. We have covered a lot. We have covered a lot. I'm trying to think of more questions, but I know for a fact, just me, in my own experience, a lot of people, I try to talk to people about, credit or money, and let them know that it is a tool or a resource, but we just hold on it so much. Like, why is it so important for us to want to have better credit and to want, these things in our life and or for our family? Why is it so important?
Well, like what he said, with the amount of money you're going to end up wasting. I mean, and then you want to set your kids up and their kids up. Like you have to make better decisions.
That's right.
It's just gonna be a bad, cycle just repeating itself over and over again.
So instead of buying those Jordans,
you gotta break the cycle, and that's what brought me to this. It's like you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna keep getting the same results, right?
Yeah.
Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. So you gotta do something different.
That's right.
You have to
step out of your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
and people have to realize they're not alone in this.
Right.
Like you said, it's
60 million.
60 million people that we all. When you talk about finances and you talk about credit, for some people it's a very, very taboo topic. Or it's they feel very they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't want to talk about it, almost embarrassing. Almost prideful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want. You don't need to know my business.
Right.
I don't need to know your business.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you the tools to help yourself. I don't need to know what your credit score is. I'm not personally going to know what.
Right.
It is.
That's what I was gonna say. We don't
know
see
what
it.
it is. You're willing and dealing with the company,
right?
And they're getting results for you,
right?
Okay.
We don't
so
know
it is something that you should want to correct. You should want to hit it head on. You shouldn't want to avoid it because trust and believe, I was one of them that did.
Yeah.
I saw them creditors calling, and guess what? Oh no, I'm not
right.
Phone.
Not opening the mail.
Harass me today. When you got people calling your job, I mean that's embarrassing.
Oh, Lord.
And why live in that spirit of oh my God? It's a spirit of
uncertainty.
Fear.
Uncertainty
and fear.
It is.
You don't have to live like that.
Right.
You know what? If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. But you know what? There are tools to help you get there to where you have the money. It's budgeting. It's saving. We have debt elimination tools. I mean, there's so many tools that are encompassed, like I said, in this plan that can help you to where you don't have to feel ashamed of getting that help. You don't want to talk to me on a personal, on a public level. Slide me a message privately. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? So let it be our business to just pass the information on to you so we can help you. So.
I mean, as dope as the credit product is, and that's what we talk about, but it's literally a movement, right? It's a movement of people. As business agents, this is more lifestyle for us, right? Once again, my mentor Joe Gathens, he talks about how his mentors share with them. There's 3 types of people, right? You got tricycles, you got bicycles, and you got motorcycles.
Oh wow!
Right? Most people fail in life because they listen to most people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Passing on that same bad mentality. Right.
Yep.
Go to school. Get a degree. Get a job. Work 40 years.
Yep.
They're passing on that information as good information. They believe.
Right.
Yes.
But it's not winning information.
Right.
Our mentor, Dr. Nicola Smith Jackson, always says, "You making wages, but you ain't winning."
No.
Right. And that's you got a job, but you ain't winning. Right. At the end of the day, and so. This movement for us is about getting with motorcycles, right? So he always says, hey, with a tricycle, don't matter how fast you pedal on that tricycle, right? You ain't gonna be able to keep up with a bicycle.
No, not at all.
And most of us are on that tricycle, right? Trying to keep up. That's the second job. That's the drive and lift 23 hours out of a 24 hour day. It's all of those things trying to put things together.
Right.
And then you have those folks that are on bicycles, right? They're in better positions.
Yeah.
Right. Those are folks that maybe make 80 to 100 grand. So they're doing all right.
Yeah.
And they have better information maybe than these folks, but they're still trading time for money.
Right.
And it don't matter. It don't matter how great that bicycle is. You can go get the best bicycle. Right. You ain't about to get on that highway and start running with those motorcycles.
No.
Right. And those motorcycles are the ones that have the information. They understand credit. They understand leverage. They understand financial freedom. Those are the folks who oftentimes we're working for.
That's right.
Right. We're part of the reason they own that motorcycle.
Exactly.
Right. J. Paul Getty says it's better to get 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of your own efforts. Right. If you think of that, what are we told? Go put in 150%. Right. That's ingrained. It's like go grind, go make it happen. While that person who put you in position to put in 150% ain't necessarily making it happen. Right. Or they're doing it in a different way. Right. They're doing it in a much different way. And so these are all mentality things. So a big part of this business for us is to slowly but surely start to get around more motorcycles. Right. We have a different train of thought, thinking differently, helping people to move differently. And so that's why if you can hear us, like, you probably gonna find somebody else that does credit repair that's this passionate.
Right.
See, a lot of our passion is
Right.
coming because of the fact that we're in the business too. We're happy about getting our credit fixed,
Yeah.
but we also around like-minded people.
That's
Right.
We celebrate each other, and we're winning together.
Yes.
That's a big part of life. Is a lot of times I always tell people, check your circle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, you got to check your circle and the people you're around.
Yes.
And it's no knock, but if they ain't motorcycles or aspiring to be motorcycles, you probably ain't gonna be one.
Right.
Right? Because most motorcycles gonna be looking to the side. They gotta get another motorcycle. We riding in a big bunch. I can't get a tricycle.
Right.
Oh, man, you never get there with a man on a tricycle.
Right.
And he got rims on the tricycle, right? So it's
I think he doing
he
something.
put rims on the tricycle. Playing his little iPhone, watching music.
Yeah.
He making that tricycle do what it do.
Yeah.
But nah, you can't get off the sidewalk with that.
Right. You sure
Yeah.
right.
All you can do is get on the sidewalk. It's the only place to stay. Only place to stay for you on a tricycle.
I'm done.
All right.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what else to say. All I can say is thank you so much.
You got
Hey,
it.
you're
Thank you
got
so
it. You're
much
so
because I know for a fact that it took me a long time to like do my own research, and a lot of people don't do their research,
Right.
No,
and they
you're
don't
right.
want to.
Right.
You know, or I should say they probably don't have time, but most of the time they don't want to.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, so I'm glad and happy, you know, that I got you guys here in a
Yes.
nice
Absolutely.
place,
Yeah,
you know, and I will make sure that, you know, I share this, and that's the main thing, sharing the information,
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
you know, and actually we don't have a lot of people that actually share their information.
Right.
Right.
It's almost like it's a secret.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
don't
It's
tell
true.
them
That's
that,
true.
you know, this is
True.
what could be,
Right.
you know, if they did take this approach.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I'm glad that a lot of secrets, I guess, are being exposed now.
Yeah.
You know, I am
Absolutely.
happy.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
happy. And I'm glad that you guys came by.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you
Thank
for having us.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so much.
We
Yes.
appreciate it.
Make sure you guys just check it out. All right. I don't even know what to say. I'm still like, you know, but I'm gonna make sure I share all of this information on
Thank
all
you.
of my platforms.
Thank
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not just gonna be this one.
Thank
I
you.
just
That's
thought about
perfect.
that.
That's
So
perfect.
everybody's gonna know for
That's
sure.
great. And as you know, I mean, we are local,
Mhm.
Yes.
but I gave you some business cards, Miss Heather.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you do need to get in contact with us, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. Again, this is Sakia Reed. I am Krista Taylor. This is Knowledge Beckham. And so we are here again to help you. If this is local in Champaign, you can get in contact with either myself or Miss Sakia Reed. If you're not local, you can still get in contact with us. So
Yes.
we're nationwide.
Right.
Yes.
It doesn't
not a big
matter.
deal.
And
Yeah.
what's your
I was
name
gonna say, how
on?
do they reach out?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. If you want to reach out to me, you can go to www.myfes.net/KTaylor30. So that is a capital K, capital T, AYLOR, the number 30. And that's my website there. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes, I'm gonna share this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Finish this.